Welcome back and welcome into not only the conclusion of my picks for the AFC West and picking that division winner, but also the conclusion of the entire AFC. So this will be the last AFC team I cover, which is, I've covered all of them so far. So if you're interested in my breakdown for any other AFC team, it is on my channel. And the NFC will get kicked off tomorrow as we will go through all the divisions and all the teams there to see what we think of their schedules and predict some records. So we'll jump right into it today. And I will warn you, just let you know before seeing this, if you haven't seen the last two, I have the Chargers at 11-6 and the Broncos at 11-6. So the Chiefs need 11-6 or better to win this division. So week one on the road against the Chargers. This is a game that for a while I had the Chargers winning this one, and I felt good about it. But then the more I thought about it, I thought about the way the season ended for the Chiefs, that Super Bowl beatdown. And this team, whether we like it or not, I know a lot of us are tired of the Chiefs constantly winning. However, you have to appreciate greatness at some point. But this is a very resilient team. They tend to bounce back well. And I think getting embarrassed like that on the national stage at the Super Bowl, they will come back fired up here in week one against the Chargers. And it's a neutral site game in Brazil, and I think they get the win. Andy Reid is great with extra prep time, and he gets that week one. Week two, Super Bowl rematch. They waste no time. This is that 4:25 Eastern game on Fox. We'll have Brady and Burkhardt on the call. This is a great one. Great to have it early in the season. Get that hype out there right away. And similar to what I said in week one, I think they're going to be out for blood and revenge in this one. They're going to be hoping to kind of, enact some revenge from that Super Bowl loss. The Chiefs have improved a little bit. They'll get Rice back. And the Eagles are going to be very good as well, though. But Andy Reid gets a second chance to prepare against the Eagles and fix what went wrong in the Super Bowl. And, they touch up their O-line a bit with the first-round draft pick. I think the Chiefs get this win. I think they get the win. They're resilient, and they bounce back well. So I think they bounce back from that Super Bowl loss with 2 wins to start the year. And then I think they beat the Giants in week 3 on a very questionable Sunday night football game decision. Can't say I'm thrilled to be watching that one. Sorry, Giants fans. 3-0 start, though, for the year for the Chiefs. Week 4, Lamar Jackson comes to town. I believe this is one of those 4:25 Eastern games that will have Jim Nantz and Tony Romo on the call. This is one where I think that, the early season heat and, getting that revenge out for blood is gone. You started 3-0, and now everyone's right back on the Chiefs bandwagon. Oh, okay, they're good again. And I think you see some stuff slip in from the last year. Last year the Chiefs won a lot of games against good teams and bad teams that were very, very close games. They let teams stick around. And now the Ravens don't fall into the bad team category. Ravens are just good. They can beat them straight up. But the Chiefs, look out for that this year. They went 15-2, but they could have lost easily 5 more games just by letting some bad teams stick around. So we'll see how that might affect them this year. This one, week 4, I will take Lamar Jackson and the Ravens on the road to take down the Chiefs, hand the Chiefs their first loss since that Super Bowl. Chiefs fall to 3-1. And then, if they win that Baltimore game, I think this week 5 is more of a trap game, more of a concern, coming off a big win there. This is a Monday night game in Jacksonville. But I think coming off a loss, they bounce back well. They don't want to lose 2 in a row, especially to a below-average team, and I think they get the win here in Jacksonville, move to 4-1 on the year. Then they're back home for Sunday night football against the Detroit Lions. Last time these two teams played was that season opener 2 years ago. Was it 2? Yes, 2 years ago. The season opener where the Lions upset the Chiefs in Arrowhead. And I think it wouldn't be as big of an upset. It's not necessarily upset material anymore, but I will take the Lions in this one to get the win. And the Chiefs fall to 4-2. Then they get 2 home games back-to-back. First one against the Raiders. I think they take care of that. The Raiders have given the Chiefs some trouble the last few years, And this one I would expect to be close once again, but like I said, I think the Chiefs sneak out with it. And then this is one I went back and forth on, a Monday Night Football game in Kansas City. And I originally had Washington taking this one, but I've changed my mind. I think the Chiefs are able to get this one done on Monday night. I think they're just a slightly better team than Washington. I love Jaden Daniels, but that's a tough spot for them. 6-2 for the Chiefs, heading into a matchup on the road against Buffalo. Buffalo's playoff issues against the Chiefs might have people forgetting the fact the Bills have won 3 straight, I believe 3 straight regular season games against the Chiefs. This one's in Buffalo. I think Buffalo's the better team, that might be bold to say, given the fact that they continuously lose to the Chiefs in the playoffs. But I will take the Bills to win here and move the Chiefs to 6-3. Then week 11, on the road, coming off your bye week in Denver. This is one, the recipe seems there for a Chiefs win. Bye week, coming off a loss. But I think the Chiefs, they're going to lose some more games this year than last year. They let too many teams stick around. And this Broncos team, I think this is their chance to kind of prove that they mean business in this division. It's a very, very good defense. They gave them trouble last year, and I think the Broncos get this one done. I think the Chiefs lose 2 straight games and fall to 6-4. Then they get back home against Indy. Indy, a team not to be taken lightly. I feel like they're flying under the radar, but I do think the Chiefs handle them at home. And then week 13, this one I flip-flopped on. I think the Chiefs are the better team and all that. But short week, first and foremost. This is a Thursday Thanksgiving game. Second off, this is the Cowboys Super Bowl of the regular season. You know that. It's Patrick Mahomes comes to town, and the Cowboys want to win this game. Everyone wants to win the game, but I'm telling you, this is their Super Bowl. And I think the Cowboys pull off the Thanksgiving upset and give themselves maybe a bit too much hype than would be deserved. But I think they do get the hype here. I think they beat the Chiefs on Thanksgiving on an upset, and the Chiefs fall to 7-5 on the season before coming home to take on the Texans, a Texans team that keeps coming close to beating the Chiefs. Can't quite do it, and I think that trend continues here. Give me the Chiefs at home. And then Chiefs-Chargers. Chiefs got the better of them in week 1 in Brazil. I think the Chargers sneak this one. I think the Chargers come into Arrowhead. You have Harbaugh, Herbert together again for another straight year. And I think the team out there in LA is going to continuously improve. And I think this year is going to be a wake-up call for Kansas City. It's not over. This isn't like the 13-14 Patriots where you're like, oh, they're done, and then they go on and win 3 more. The Chiefs are still very much in the heat of their dynasty with Mahomes, still fairly young, solid roster, Andy Reid. They're going to keep doing business, but I think this is the season they get a little, I don't know about slap in the face, but kind of a wake-up call that, hey, these other teams in your division, they're good now too. So it gets a lot tougher when stuff like that happens. I think this year is going to be a tough year for the Chiefs. If they still come out of it this year, if they still win the division, go through the playoff gauntlet that includes these 2 divisional teams, the Bills, the Ravens, Bengals, all of that, and they still come out of the AFC this year, I'm one of those, I don't hate them because I try to appreciate great teams no matter how much it annoys me, but I'm a little annoyed of them. But if they manage that this year once again, I mean, that might be more impressive than so many of the seasons the Patriots pulled off. I don't know. We'll see. I don't think they'll do it, first and foremost, though. I'm just going to say that. I don't think they come out of the AFC this year, but if they manage to, I will be incredibly impressed for them to do it yet again. Continuing on with the predictions, sorry for the sidetrack. Week 16 at Tennessee, give me the Chiefs. Week 17, home against the Broncos. Don't expect the Broncos to get the Chiefs twice here, so give me the Chiefs at home. And then week 18, something the Chiefs are unfamiliar with, but this is probably a position you need to win. I don't know if it'll be to make the playoffs or to win the division, but sitting at 10-6, you need to win Week 18 against a lesser opponent. But fortunately for them, I don't think they have much trouble doing that. Such an important situation against the team that they're just better than. I think they get the win and go to 11-6. So I have all three teams in the AFC West that aren't the Raiders. The Raiders I have going 6-11, but I have the Chargers, Broncos, and Chiefs all going 11-6 on the season. And I have looked at it, and I believe via tiebreaker, the division does go to the Chiefs in this instance. However, I wouldn't be surprised to see it go to any of those three teams. I think all three have a great chance at it. I think the Chiefs have the toughest schedule of the three, so that gives the other two, an even better chance. So I'm very excited to keep my eye on these three teams this year in the divisional race. Now, it almost seems like ultimately one team will get injuries or lose a couple bad games and fall out of it. But I would be surprised if at least two of those three teams were not down to the very last week competing for this division. So I think it's going to be a super, super fun division to keep track of. The divisional games between these teams are going to be a blast. And we kick off the season with one. Chiefs-Chargers. Should be a lot of fun. It should be a great football season. And we are now done with the AFC predictions. We're going to do the NFC, and eventually we will do playoff predictions when we get closer to the regular season. And, funny enough, by the time the regular season starts, I'm sure all these teams I picked, my opinions will change because that's just how it works. So we'll see how it goes. Let me know what y'all think, and tomorrow we will kick off the NFC.